Imagine this: a body found in a park, a weapon lying nearby, and muddy footprints leading away. That exact spot becomes the starting point of every investigation, the crime scene. So, what is a crime scene? Simply put, it's any place where a crime has been committed or where the maximum physical evidence related to that crime is found. A crime scene isn't just a location, it's the storyboard of the crime. It gives investigators clue about what happened, who did it, and how it all unfolded. And remember, a crime scene is not always a single place. It can spread across multiple areas depending on the nature of the crime. For example, if a person is murdered in one location and the body is dumped somewhere else, then both places become separate crime scenes, each holding different pieces of the same puzzle. Types of crime scenes. Let's break it down step by step. Based on evidence found, primary crime scene. This is the main location where the actual crime occurred or where the most direct evidence is found. For example, the house where a murder or theft actually happened, it gives the strongest clue about the sequence of events. Secondary crime scene. Now, any location related to the crime but not where it actually took place is called the secondary crime scene. This might be where evidence was moved or hidden, like where a body or weapon was dumped. Sometimes, while investigating, what was thought to be a secondary scene can later become the primary one because it turned out to hold the most crucial evidence. For example, the dumping site might have hair, fibers, or even the murder weapon, tracing back directly to the suspect. Based on geographical location, outdoor crime scene. These are open areas like roads, fields, parks, or playgrounds. But here's the challenge: outdoor scenes are highly vulnerable to contamination by sunlight, wind, or rain. That's why immediate protection and documentation are so important. Evidence is easily damaged or lost. Larger investigation teams are often required. Weather condition can quickly destroy traces. There may be more eyewitnesses available. Such methods like grid or strip search give better results. Indoor crime scene. This is closed area like a room, corridor, or kitchen. Indoor scenes are more controlled and less affected by weather. Evidence here is better preserved. Usually, only a small team is needed to investigate. Damage due to climate is minimal. There are fewer eyewitnesses since it's a closed space. Spiral, circular, or zone search methods work best here. By sealing entry and exit points quickly, like doors and windows, investigators can secure the evidence efficiently. Mobile or conveyance crime scenes. Now, sometimes crime happens inside moving vehicles like cars, buses, or trains. These are called conveyance crime scenes. Examples include vehicle theft, burglaries, or murders inside a car. Evidence here can extend far beyond the vehicle. For instance, fibers, fingerprints, or blood stains left while escaping. Such vehicles are often transported to the forensic lab after proper on-site documentation for detailed analysis. And if both indoor and outdoor components are involved, investigators always process the outdoor scene first because it's more likely to lose evidence quickly. Based on size, microscopic crime scenes focus on tiny details like blood drops, fingerprints, or hair strands. These are small but crucial in linking suspect to the scene. Macroscopic crime scene. This include the entire area like a whole room, a vehicle, or a section of a forest. It gives a broader view of how the crime took place. Based on type of crime, different crimes create different type of scenes. Homicide when there is an unlawful death. Suicide when evidence suggests a self-inflicted act. Accidental where harm or death occurred unintentionally, often to confirm that no foul play was involved. Based on condition, organized crime scene, planned, methodical, and clean. The perpetrator has prepared well, maybe wiped surfaces, hidden evidence, or arranged the scene to mislead investigators. Unorganized crime scene, chaotic and impulsive, showing panic or lack of experience. Items are scattered, evidence is left behind, and the crime often seems spontaneous. Based on criminal activity, passive crime scene where there is low physical interaction. For example, poisoning or fraud. The act is subtle and evidence is mostly indirect. Active crime scenes where there is high energy interaction like assault, shootouts, or break ins. These scenes are often messy but hold strong physical evidence. To sum up, a crime scene is more than a place. It's the beginning of every forensic investigation. It holds answers to what happened, who was involved, and how it unfolded. Every footprint, fingerprint, and fiber carries a voice, and forensic experts are the one who listen to it. And that's your complete breakdown of crime scene, its definition and types. Until next time, stay tuned to Decode Forensic.